request from someone online about how I set up my wither skeleton farm, so I was going to go over that real quick. What I used was a skeleton spawner that I restored to a powered spawner using the soul binder process that's discussed in the quest book. Once you have that, you can use it for a lot of fun stuff. One thing I did before I go to the nether to show you the wither skeleton area is I made a Enderman spawner here that spawns Endermen, and what it'll do is I provide RF through this, and then these little fans will push the Enderman into the smeltery, and then the smeltery will then cook them into liquid ender that I can then use for turning into ender pearls. So I have it hooked up to a redstone signal so I can turn it on and off from outside. You can see here the progress is going up. We can wait around here for a second. The fans here, as you can see, they'll push the Enderman into the middle, and they'll fall down into the pit of doom, and then turn into nice, delicious ender pearl juice. I made it out of warded glass so they don't break it, but I can also keep an eye on it and watch them and cackle maniacally as they fall in and listen to their screams of pain as they die. The smeltery, let me show you what it looks like down there real quick. So the smeltery, I have this faucet going into a fluid pipe that splits into two casting tables, and each casting table has a gem mold on it, so that way the ender pearls can cast, and then they'll fall through this hopper here into this chest underneath here. So you can see there's a couple of ender pearls in there right now. So we should be getting pretty close to seeing a spawn here. Yeah, they should be almost ready. Come on, faster. If you provide more power, they can spawn faster, so I haven't really worried too much about it because they spawn pretty fast. So what I do is I'll replace all the batteries and then just let it run on its own, and then let the ender pearls come out and process them whenever I need a bunch more. There they go. You see one of them fell in already. And there, come on, get pushed in there, you little bastard. Anyways, when a infernal one spawns, they can heal, and so what'll happen is they'll sit there and get turned into a whole big pile of liquid ender. So you can see here I have a good amount of it. Start the pouring process, and it'll start solidifying and popping out. You see it just popped out one. There went another one. So you can see them here increasing. So that's a way to get ender pearls fairly painlessly once you get to that point. Otherwise, what you can do is you can basically build this whole setup around an Enderman spawner, which you can find out in a roguelike dungeon. I actually found one, but never got around to building this around it, because then you need to do a chunk loader and all that stuff, but this you can just build near your base and you're fine. So on the wither skeleton spawner, before you set that up, you want to make sure you have a cleaver with a pretty high level of beheading. I went ahead and added some levels to this one to give it some improved chances. But once you have that, let's go to the nether. I can show you my setup. But one tip, you can put iron golems in the nether to guard your area for you. These little guys will keep all the zombie pigmen off my out of my area whenever they spawn in. Anyways, this area right here is where I have the spawner. As you can see, I've filled it in, except for the little area here that I have where they can spawn in, so that way they don't spawn outside of the box. I've got a little redstone signal with a repeater from the other side to turn this on and off, and you can see the power cable coming in from underneath. So that's how that side's set up. And then over here, the power cable comes to this battery buffer, which we can go ahead and fill. It'll fill up the spawner and get it charged up. Just out of range, can't see it. But then I have this switch attached to the deal here. So if we wait here for a minute or two, we should see some skeleton spawn. Now, one thing about the skeleton spawner in the nether is that it will sometimes spawn wither skeletons. So first one that came in happened to be a wither skeleton. So now I've just got me a skull, and you just basically just sit here and do this do. You just wait for them to spawn in and kill them. And this hole here, I have a slab on the top, so that way I can see into it and they can't shoot at me. I can just whack them on their feet and kill them. And that's pretty much covers everything. There's nothing else all that technical or anything about it. Just once you get the spawner, get a skeleton spawner built, get it set up in the nether, and then you can use it to farm the wither skeletons just like that. Alright, let me know if you have any other questions. Take care and have a good day.